Welcome back to Different Style Whites, the
Yes!
the leading pod about different style fights.
Most would
The
say.
yeah, the podcast that keeps whatever the Japanese version of omerta is.
Oh.
Yeah. Did anybody try to do their homework? On the ISAMI page because we were talking about uh, a very interesting. We love freaks here,
Yes, we
and
love
we
freaks.
and we love a layer or two or three of grime,
Oh, yeah.
and I think those are a really important part of the whole different style fight thing. So we have talked about Isami before. We're gonna revisit a couple of old friends and meet
Yes.
some new freaks we might see again later.
God, we're
But
meeting one that has been a long time coming.
yeah, but refresh the. I think that was episode somewhere in the early teens when we talked about uh, Isami and super hard fighting Kazushigumi, which we'll also be
Yes.
talking about again. Yeah.
Yes, we will be talking entirely about super hard fighting Kazushigumi, and we will also entirely be talking about Isami. If you remember the name, thank you. You are a loyal listener, and we will reward you with 10,000 prayers to Buddha. Um, Isami was in a tag match that we talked about as part of the the modern day different style fight episode. He is a large man of undetermined age, although we have to I definitely say around the era we're watching, he is probably late 40s. I don't want to say 50s because I feel like that might no, honestly, I'd say late 40s into early 50s. So I don't know.
I wrote early on he looks 50, so it has to be
Yes.
either late 40 because who knows the life he's led to this point, but
Yes.
it's somewhere
He
in that range.
he looks very battle hardened.
Yes.
Um, and he also looks very pillowy.
Yeah, his little gut hangs over his belt. That's awesome.
No, he is a very large karate man. I don't just mean large fat. I mean like he is a generally pretty tall guy. Kind of a very imposing force. He was part of a really wild tag team match that we talked about on that episode. Um, Now, in terms of where he comes from and what his whole origin is and his career path, I mentioned it's Aubie. We have a lot more guesses than facts, but we do know some things. So it is almost certain that he is a karate trainee of Kazuhiko Ogasawara, or at the very least, is a member of the dojo that Ogasawara is a member of. I have seen him outright refer to Ogasawara as his master, so I have to go that he is an Ogasawara trainee of some sort. Um, Now, you see karate guys refer to old veterans of the karate world as master a lot, but the few times I've seen him do it, it really reads as like I trained under this guy at least for some period of time. So he's a Ogasawara trainee. He is originally in the industry as a competitor in the mid 2010s is when he debuts. I believe he debuts on an exit show under his real name of Kenichi Isami. And he faces Ogasawara, and that leads into him starting a pretty reasonable career where he would work like 10 to 15 matches every year, sometimes like only 5 matches. And he did that up until the pandemic, at which point Kazushigumi shut down. Um, he then worked some matches for Impact Fighting Federation, which is Takahiro Tababa's promotion. And his last match was in 2024 for Impact, and he has not been seen in ring since then. Now, in terms of his origins in the business, this is where we get more into guessing than fact. But I have reasonable suspicion to believe that he was a trainer in the Battle Arts Dojo in the 90s. Um,
Oh wow.
I think he may have been a striking instructor. I will say there have been a lot of like battle arts reunion like bar meetings and stuff. And I first kind of came around to this knowledge whenever Supercrafter U posted a photo of the last big meeting, I want to say in 2024, and in the background is Isami. So I was like, what the fuck? And it's it's known in circles. I feel like this pod's small enough that I can just say it and nobody will fucking even say anything. Supercrafter U was a trainer in battle arts. He trained grappling and striking in the 2000s. Um, so I saw Isami and I was like, whoa, what the hell? And I thought maybe it was like he was just a guy that helped out some. But I started to go through Isami's social medias and found that he has been to a lot of these meetings and has a seemingly pretty extensive history with Yuki Ishikawa, um, which we will talk more about him later. He it really seems like Isami has some link to battle arts, that he is somewhat invested in the group in some form, going back a long time. And I have to lean that he was probably a trainer. It at the very least seems like he trains with a lot of the battle arts guys a lot. Um, so he was somehow connected to the organization, and I personally believe it was trainer, but that's really just a guess from knowing these kinds of situations.
It it does make sense. I remember you telling me that about Supercrafter U, and it blew me away. But that 2000s crop of battle art guys getting trained in striking by Isami and grappling by Supercrafter U explains a lot about why they're so fucked up.
Yeah, the dojo in battle arts is such a fascinating thing to me because it's very much of the same ilk as like the UWFI dojo, where it was like Shigeo Miyato and Yoji Anjo and Takada who were doing a lot of training, but then also they had like world class Muay Thai fighters and world class kickboxers who would like come in and run striking courses for like a month, and then they would go and they'd bring someone else in, and they'd have these old school grapplers, like they bring in like Gotch and Billy Robinson and Thez for a little bit, and someone else who was like a they had I think one of the Thez trainees was kind of sitting doing like teaching like Thez style grappling for a little bit. Like they would have a revolving door of legitimate martial artists to kind of impart different wisdom to their trainees and try to make them more fully formed fighters. So, and PWFG did the same thing from my understanding, and Battle Arts did continue that trend by bringing in different martial artists. Nobody on the scale of the guys that UWFI would bring in, but a lot more like local, talented martial artists. Like Crafter was a very, very talented kickboxer and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist, which, early 2000s especially, that's a kind of hot commodity.
Yeah.
And then Isami, from what I can tell, was a very prolific karate fighter in the 2000s. I don't know if he was a tournament guy, but at the very least, from things that I have seen people say in passing, he was a very tough karate fighter, a very disciplined and a very talented one. So it does make sense that they would bring him in and have him do some training. Um, so that is what we know about Isami. In terms of what he's doing nowadays, uh, anytime there's a photo posted of him, it's usually him in a group photo at a random gym. He still trains with a lot of the shooters on the scene nowadays, like if Tababa or Gajo or any of the dudes that worked like Impact or Kazushigumi post a photo of like a gym training session, there's a very good chance that you are going to see Isami in the background. And he's still training with Ishikawa. Every now and then Ishikawa will post like a group training photo, and half of the time you can see Isami in there with the big old gut, really hanging out with like the athletic like shirt on. um,
The two
so
deadliest old men.
God, yeah, for real. Um, but Isami is awesome, and I was telling it to Aubie in the DMs, but after watching these matches, I'm once again reminded how much of a absolute shame it is that Isami basically does not wrestle anymore. As far as I know, I don't know if he's going to be coming back. With these kinds of guys, in like 5 years he'll probably randomly work an Impact show. These guys will just randomly reappear sometimes, but he should be working a lot more because he rules.
I can certainly understand why he only worked like a handful of matches a year and why he might not be eager to go back. Uh,
Yeah.
because we talk a lot about a lot of like really stiff stuff. These matches are something else. And you talked
Yeah.
about he debuts in Exit. He does Impact. He does Kazushigumi. That's kind of par for the course. But even though they're all short, he takes and gives some pretty serious beatings in
Yes.
these matches.
There's a good argument to be made that in the 2010s there were few wrestlers who were better at giving a beating than Isami, and because of the nature of a place like Kazushigumi, everyone wanted to give it back. So he would beat the fuck out of people, and you can watch in real time as they decide that they're going to beat the fuck out of him, and it's a great time.
Yeah,
And
and
I,
if you want to go back to that episode, you can hear about super hard fighting Kazushigumi, and its roots as sort of a vanity promotion for an erstwhile uh, All Japan star in training, and then Kings Road Ace to like a pseudo shoot fighting organization that fits in perfectly with Exit and Impact and that ilk.
yes, it's kind of, you look at Exit and you look at Impact and you look at Capture, and it's like these guys project
Yes.
as these like underground fighting club types. And Capture certainly goes the farthest along that measure in terms of ambiance and atmosphere and everything about the presentation. Um, I think honestly, Kazushi is the closest any wrestling company has ever come to an underground fighting ring. Which is funny because it's probably the one that tried the most to not be like that in terms of presentation. It just wanted to present as like a fighting group rather than any sort of illegal thing. But I think more than any of the other organizations, it probably had the most reason to not present itself as an illegal thing.
Omerta. Um, yeah, and you can feel it in the crowd. We've done. I think we just did the one capture match, right? Am I? Or have we
Yes,
done more?
I
Yeah, and we talked about like the crowd. You could convince me these were not from like the late 2010s in terms of heat, and they're not big rooms. It's not on the level of some of the stuff we've seen of like mobs that are about to come apart. But like it, the crowd is very engaged and like constantly yelling, and it does have a little bit of that feel on a little bit maybe of a smaller scale.
yes, I think so. Uh, Two of these matches happen in Basement Monstar,
Yeah.
which is a lovely little venue, but it's also big emphasis on little. I've seen it really cap out at like 150 people. I can promise you, none of these shows have 150 people in them. But for all the people that are there, you are hearing them constantly, and
Yes.
they're not just like cheering. They have things to say.
And they love Isami.
Dude, they fucking love him, which
They
makes me a
ride
little
for
worried about what he does outside of the
Yeah,
ring.
yeah. Maybe
Omerta.
that's why we don't know a whole lot about
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, Omerta.
I mean, Battle Arts was running Ryogoku in the 90s, and we've never asked how did they pull that off. So but anyways, uh, let's get into the first match here, which is a great way to introduce Asami, honestly. From September 22nd of 2018, we are in Kazushigumi, we are in Basement Monstar, and we are seeing Isami take on Takahiro Tababa, or as he has booked in Kazushigumi, and don't ask me why, because I have no fucking clue. TB.
TB baby. Tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis. Yeah, I have no clue why he's called TB. When I first saw it listed in results, I was like, "Oh, the guy that sent the results in is being lazy and just shortening the name because he has a pretty long name by Japanese standards. It's like 5 characters, and they're all like complex. So I mean, maybe they just would write TB and send it in. But then I watched some Kazushigumi tapes, and no, they just call him
Yeah,
TB
they
like
call
out
him that.
loud.
I like it. I started using it in my notes.
Yeah, it's a lot shorter. So it's
Yeah. And, I have Isami capitalized every time, and then it lets me capitalize TB every time too, so they feel
yes,
of the level. And Tababa, again, you freaks that are listening to this, I'm sure you're familiar. If you're not, you should get familiar, and you can
yes,
start here.
yes. This is a great introduction to both guys. Um, if you're listening to this and you don't know who Tababa is, I honestly it's not the most shocking thing because I think even then he's a little bit deep, but it's a little shocking because you should know him. He's probably one of the best guys going today. He's one of the most interesting, at least. He's one of the
Yeah,
few
he's one of the
guys
few
who
people having
like
good matches.
one of the few guys who
Yeah.
kicks ass and not in the throws weak forearms, but spiritually it's meant to be good. I mean, he's a guy that literally kicks ass. He probably hits harder than the majority of the industry, and he motivates everyone around him to hit him harder. And there's very few people nowadays who are willing to just put on a real fight. So familiarize yourself. He actually just had like a death match against Daiju Wakamatsu and Dai, and it's one of my favorite death matches of the year because Tababa takes a crazy gusset plate spot and gushes blood, and then spends the rest of the match like screaming like King Kong and trying to kill Daiju. It's really
That's awesome.
it is a good time. Um, but he is here. He is not yet in his full form. I would say he's kind of like 80% of the way there. Um, he's still got like a pretty bushy head of hair. He's not got like the shaved sides at this point, and he's only just starting to go from like a skinny twig guy to like a really thickly built man. So he's about at that middle point. Um, Isami, meanwhile, is very close to what I would say is his strongest form. I would say this probably is his strongest form. He is geeked out of his mind. I mean, he looks like an old badass, like dojo master in a kung fu movie where they go to a karate dojo and challenge them for some like China over Japan supremacy. Like he looks awesome.
And he is awesome.
Yeah,
And
man.
Baba must know it because as soon as the bell rings, he like one of the most lightning fast like smacks and then shoots the legs
Dude,
ever seen.
immediately shooting the double leg, like, which does really set the tone that Tababa, God, he wants Isami on the ground and not standing. And we learn why soon after because he gets into this, mount position, but they're so close to the ropes that he can't really do anything. And they stand back up, and Isami is immediately throwing like baseball bat leg kicks and crazy punches to the chest. Um, and the punches to the chest, I love that, and I wish more guys did it. I get it's a very karate thing, and people really only do it in Japan if they have the karate background. But we need someone to bring them back
No,
because they are so awesome.
it's incredible, especially as we'll get to multiple times when he does them in the corner. But it's like
Oh,
karate Ox Baker. It's just like
yes,
nonstop heart punches. I mean, that's
yes,
awesome. And he's not doing the big knuckle punches. He's like snapping off the wrist popping karate punches. Like he does what I really dig is he does a lot of like the in close like karate hand to hand stuff where he's
yes.
like parrying and blocking and he's doing like the yeah the heart punch flurries and he does a lot of uh like Oki Shikina like karate chop like old school
Yeah.
karate chop stuff.
It is interesting because we've seen a lot of different karate guys, and he's really the only like clinch close quarters karate specialists that we've seen. Because a lot of the guys we see, like Aoyagi or Akio Kobayashi or even Ogasawara, they kind of start with the basic stuff, but they want it to lead into like big dramatic kicks, like Aoyagi with his spinning heel kicks and his axe kicks, and Akio Kobayashi, he would throw like the heart punch, but it was like a lunging forward kind of motion. And Ogasawara had some tornado kicks. Like, we've never seen a guy who's a karate fighter, but his main priority is getting real close and just unleashing like clinch punches that are meant to break your sternum. Like, there's nobody else we've seen who fights like that while being a karate guy.
And
And
it's awesome
it,
because he's not. We don't. As much as I love it, there's something so thrilling about these, and they feel longer than they are, to be honest, in a good way,
yes,
because there's so much action. But he's not interested in like ranging. He's not interested in
no,
like staying back from a
no,
wrestler,
he wants to get on you.
and he's willing to grapple some too.
Yes, he
Um,
is.
so
Um,
it brings a whole different dimension to the karate fighter, different style fighter. We have seen a lot of karate guys, and everybody we've talked about is awesome, but he is very unique in look, in context, and in like fighting style.
he is one of the few guys that I think maybe one of the only guys I would call a karate big man. Like, there's nobody else who feels imposing like this just from like a size and like stature perspective. You know, Aoyagi's intimidating. He is imposing, but he's imposing because of just like the karate. Like, Aoyagi the man, very strongly built guy, but he's not like a. I don't feel the same fear from him that I feel from like the Big Show, and in a weird way, I kind of do feel that from Asami. And
Yeah,
we don't know the height of Asami. We've gotten no stats reports on him like ever. I'm certain he's not 7 feet tall, but sometimes when he's standing above a guy, it really looks like he is. Um, I will also say with this match, this is an awesome match if you like guys that make noises, because Isami and TB are constantly going psh, 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 with every single strike.
it's awesome.
It's so good.
It's a the TB is also doing like some of the Isami offense where he's also throwing
Yes.
like strikes to the chest and doing knee strikes, and yeah, especially when they're standing up, which is a lot. Like as I said, Asami's willing to grapple, but like there's a lot of stand up and like hanging and banging in
Yeah.
these, and they're just it's beautiful.
It is such a good time. Um and they're fighting out while the standing, and I think the first real like big momentum shifting moment is Tababa kind of gets sick of getting punched and like grabs onto Isami's gi to try and control him.
Oh,
And Isami responds by rearing back and throwing the most ridiculous headbutt he possibly could. Like, real skull clacker, like bouncing the brain around like it's pinball.
it's
Um
shocking.
Shocking. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's that's kind of where you really feel the difference in Isami's mentality compared to like all other karate fighters. Because usually you grab onto the gi and that's almost like a death spell for them. Like, they go down and they have to try and find their way out. But if there's not much they can do besides like wrangling themselves out. But Isami, who is totally fine with closing the distance, that's his whole strategy, is like, okay, I will just close the distance in the most obvious way I can by throwing my head at you like a football. Um, and he gets some real nice offense in on Tababa, and Tababa does get a counter with this massive like leg trip into a side headlock that's so dramatic because they really like milk it and make it. It's like a basic side headlock leg sweep into like a grounded side headlock, but it's done over the span of like 4 seconds, and
With real physics. There's no
it's just Isami
assistance.
slowly falling back as he's like fighting to not go down, and it's so good.
Uh, and he kind of takes over for a minute. He does like a. It looks like he's going for a drop kick, and he turns it into like a jumping side kick.
Yes.
And Asami goes down, which happens a lot. Asami also goes down a lot because he's not.
Yes.
He's defending like when he's in close, but there's one point in a later match where the ref has to like tell him put your hands up. But
Yeah.
he's down. He's basically in like a tabletop pose. And Tababa just like in the corner, and Tababa climbs up on his back and puts like one foot on his neck and one on his back, and then he puts both feet on his back and just starts jumping up and down on his back like a trampoline.
Dude, it's like the fucking baby romper thing, like the romper stomper.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like him doing like the Murakami shit, but like Tababa is at this point at least like 250 at the bare minimum. Like he is approaching big fucker status. So he is just like drilling into Isami's back with these stomps. And he's also throwing these like punt kicks to Isami's ribs. And we mentioned before that these matches are stiff. This is like the best example of how stiff they get because the crowd has a bunch of people in it that are yelling like crazy and stuff. Um, and a lot of people that have like shouting like sentences of different bad words at Tababa. Um, and even through all of that, Tababa is throwing these punt kicks, and they are making like cracking noises off of Isami's ribs. And Isami, wonderful gut seller. We're gonna get more into it, especially in the main event of the pod. But he just he pours his heart out whenever his ribs or stomach or general middle of the body area gets attacked. So he's out for the count for a little bit.
Yeah, he gets completely owned. But then they stand back up, kick some more, and he hits something that he hits frequently, but this was the craziest one. Like a spinning, it's like a spinning, like the Aja Kong spinning back fist, but it's like a bitch chop, like a
Yeah,
pimp
like
chop
open
to the
hand
face.
chop to the face and
Yeah.
neck. I mean, every time he hits it, it does make like the bitch slap noise. Like it makes like a now. It's ridiculous. And this is the best one he's ever hit in his entire career. Like the
And
second I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is the one.
yeah, and old TB, they said he got up at 9. He still looked out on his feet to me.
I was gonna say, the referee for this show is for this match at least is Pink Tiger. Love Pink Tiger, friend of myself and of some of my friends. He's wonderful to talk to. Long tenured referee, long tenured guy in the business. Historically, with the Kazushigumi shows, he is like Mario Yamasaki. He will do anything he can to let the fighters fight, to let them show heart and spirit. So when Tababa is halfway up the corner at the 9 count, totally not on his feet and steady yet, Pink Tiger walks over, grabs him by the wrists, and pulls him onto his feet to get him ready to go back into the fight.
Uh,
It's
yeah,
incredible.
and it sucks for him because that's when
Yeah.
he gets the heart punch, the Ox Baker karate barrage
Yes.
in the corner, and he hits him 14 times, and Tababa like just crumples.
Yeah.
But Isami is like always throwing one or two extra shots, and one of the like ones that he was aiming at the heart because Tababa crumples just hits him right in the jaw as he
Dude.
like falls to the ground.
It's so nasty. I think it's right after the jaw punch that Tababa, on hitting the ground, kind of shoots for like a single leg, like going for anything. And of course, he is so fucked that Isami immediately just catches him and tries to go for his own like choke. But Isami, while he is like he has grappling ability, he is just not the grappler Tababa is. So Tababa is able to get him over, flip the mount. And this is another example of Tababa just being like one of the last great aggression pushers that we have right now. He takes the advantage by grabbing onto Isami's gi and applying like a perfect gi choke, which the crowd loses their shit at. Like they are shouting like death threats at him over it. Because he's just using to Isami's own gear to like try and choke him out, and that's legal if you're gonna wear the gi. That does like that's legal in the rules of Kazushigumi. They allow gi chokes. So
And murder.
Yeah,
Uh,
pretty. See, that was my worry. I'm like, Tababa, you can't do this. You're gonna get stabbed in a back alley.
he chokes him with a gi, and then he like rolls him over and chokes him the other way with the
Yeah.
gi.
There's a great shot here too when they kind of when Isami gets close to the ropes, they kind of pan over and you can see the little panel that they have at the front of every Kazushigumi show, and they put it on the stage of the basement monster. It's like oh god, what's his name? Oh fuck, I'm gonna be so mad. It's like he was the editor for Shoe Pro for a very long time. And was friends with Tarzan something. Oh god, I'm annoyed. Basically important magazine guy who Kazushi always fucked with and like invited to his shows. Um he had him there and he had fucking Tarzan Yamamoto, that's his name. Tarzan Yamamoto's there, and there's another person who I can't remember, and then there's Kazushi who is just sitting there, cross-armed, completely unmoving as he watches Tababa choke Isami with the gi, like no expression on his face, no anything. And every time I see Kazushi at these shows, he just reminds me of like the dude from Gladiator with the thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah. We
So
talked about it before the pod, but there's like this very ominous stinger on the beginning of this match with like supernatural kung fu horror music, and it just says produced by uh, Kazushi.
God.
And then it goes right into the match. He's bringing you the violence. He likes it as much as you do, but it very much get that feel. And when they get back up, he hits another heart punch barrage. And this time he gets a heart kick in,
Yes.
and then again he's always throwing a few extra. He gets some of those courtroom evidence head kicks tacked on at the
Oh,
end, and a crowd that is rabid and clearly likes this type of thing. You still hear one woman with like a completely guttural scream
yeah. Because I mean,
after the last head kick.
this is some real hardcore violence to the point that it even takes these like blood hungry monsters that they have as an audience, and it even makes a couple of them go, "Oh shit, this is getting kind of extreme." um, and we get another wonderful Pink Tiger Mario Yamasaki moment because once again Tababa is getting up and he gets to the 9 count and he is just like leaning against the quarter at like a 45-degree angle, and he just kind of very, very lightly raises his fist up, and Pink Tiger looks at him and goes, "You're good," and then just starts the
Right.
fight back up. Now, and to his credit though, the immediately after Isami unleashes another death combo with a rolling soul butt into more head kicks, and Pink Tiger sees that and sees Tababa completely crumpled, and at this point, he's like, "I'm not even gonna count. I'm just gonna call it now." And that is it. Isami gets the win. Tababa is pissed. He immediately is shoving Pink Tiger over here. He's like, I wasn't down for 10." As he is
he
like,
was he's like curled into a ball
yeah,
trying to cover his head, and Isami is just kicking around his guard and kicking him in like the base of his neck and his
yeah,
face and his ribs over and over and over. Like if you're
yes,
ever gonna stop a fight, that's a good time to do it.
yes. But awesome match. Really wonderful stuff from Usami. Wonderful stuff from TB as well. I think of the Tababa Kazushigumi stuff because there is some stuff that he did in this company that is kind of spread out and has become more well known. Obviously, the match with Gajo is probably his most well known work, like in general. And that's always going to be kind of the thing that's most talked about in Kazushigumi. But I think his pairings with Isami were probably his most consistent because he had another singles match, which is also on YouTube, and you should go watch alongside this one. And he had some tags, and they are all also awesome. So getting to see him here fills me with a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, and Isami introduces himself to us and to the fans by getting a big victory via head kick murder.
Yeah, and he looks like a complete beast in
Yeah.
victory. And yeah, I had so much fun watching these this week. Um, these are all so good. So you got to watch all of these, but that one is one of the more violent things you'll see in like an eight
Yes.
minute match that doesn't have blood or anything, but it's
No.
it's tough. But then the competition is the stage and the competition are about to level up here for Isami.
Yes. We are about to move on to even bigger things, although I will mention right at the end of this video, it cuts to the like ending title card and it's just a zoomed in shot of Kazushi's massive pecs. Which is I mean, listen, man, this is like a very weird sidebar, but I cannot tell you enough how weird it is that Kazushi Miyamoto's occupation is now YouTuber. Like it is it is bizarre. Knowing him and who he is and what he's done in his life, the fact that he is now well known by a very large amount of people as the guy on YouTube that tells wrestling stories and Yakuza stories, um, is kind of crazy. He is like 300,000 subscribers and he just like posts about his dog and weird he goes to like haunted locations and films and like is like, ooh, there's ghosts here, spooky, and people love it and it's
Should
crazy.
we should send him this. Let's link it
Oh
in one of his videos in the
god,
comments.
he'd probably fly over and kill us. I'm gonna be honest, like
That's so. See,
he
we didn't introduce ourselves this week, so
oh yeah,
we're good.
we're good. I gotta this is another sidebar, and I'm not gonna dwell on it, but remind me later to send you the video where he explains why he shot on a guy one time because that's a really funny video.
Please,
But
please do.
yeah, I mean, he like we have footage of the match from like a hard cam. But in the video he uploaded, he has like multiple camera angles and does like slow motion replays of him like punching a guy in the face for real, and he's like, I shouldn't have done this, but this is why. But
He's mellowed,
Kazushigumi,
huh?
yeah. Well, no, he just came back to the ring actually for the first time in like 3 years, and it was him taking Mitsuru Ono and like punching him in the face and dropping him on his head. So I think he's actually still the same guy.
I should have brought him up on that TNA Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh god, dude, that would have been awesome. Like we had this guy backstage and nobody really thought much of him, but then he started saying he'd kill people, and it was like, whoa. uh, but as you may hear from the way I talk about him, Kazushi is a real proponent of violence and martial arts and big fight spectacle.
And
And
God
this,
bless him for uploading stuff and for
yes,
letting other people upload stuff.
God, it is. I mean, I would love for him to just give me all of his footage because there's so much that he has not posted, and I know he has it. So please, if you're listening, Kazushi, I know we just said that you like might kill us, but if you don't do that, please give us your footage instead. We would
We
love it.
mean it with love.
We do. We mean it with love. You're like one of my favorite guys from this scene. I have
Send
posted
it. We'll
about you
do
lovingly so much.
we'll do the complete and accurate Kazushigumi on
Oh
pod.
God. We'll do the complete and accurate Kazushi Miyamoto too, where we'll talk about his W1 run where he wears a little bow tie and is the Japanese $1 million man.
That's got to be like the most high profile thing he's done since All Japan, right?
Yes, it is the most high profile thing he's done. He comes out with the $1 million championship, but it's Japan, so it's the yen symbol.
That's
it's
so awesome.
it's
We
so good.
don't kill us. We love
Please,
you.
please, we love you. And we love what you booked because you also booked a wonderful match that we're talking about next.
Indeed.
We are here in Shinkiba First Ring, which is
Wow.
not the biggest arena Kazushigumi ran actually. They've run a few larger arenas as part of like charity shows, but in terms of like the regular arenas they ran, this is far and away the biggest. Um and we are here for Isami to face a man that he has extensive history with, a man that both of us love, and a man that, as far as I'm aware, has somehow completely escaped conversation on this podcast in terms of like actual match coverage. He's been mentioned a ton, but I think this might be the first match of his we're talking about. It is Isami taking on Yuki Ishikawa.
Uh, my favorite wrestler ever, dude. Like
Yeah,
straight up,
he,
hands down.
uh,
And uh, he's older than hell here. He looks like if Inoki had like a ugly wife and a drinking problem. But he's my beloved, and he also looks locked the fuck in. And he is doing
yes,
some stuff here as a flabby old man that is mind blowing.
yes.
In Shinkiba against Isami for Kazushigumi.
Yeah, I mean,
For
this
the
is a
love of the
guy that
game.
never turned it off at any point in his career. The switch was always flipped to on no matter where he was. Like I've seen him put on a great match in front of like a Denny's in Calgary, like in front of like 7 people wrestling half-trained Canadian dudes that Santino Marella kind of just threw at him. Like no matter where he is or what he's doing, he is always going to give you a Yuki Ishikawa performance, and it's always going to be one that is not exactly the same as any other you've seen. Uh, and here, especially, I feel like he is really into it. And this kind of comes to a thing that I wanted to talk to you about, and I want to mention to the people. I don't know how many different style fights Yuki Ishikawa has been in, but it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like he's been in many, which is weird.
It is
He's the
weird
Inoki
considering like
guy.
yeah, and the places he's been. But you know, his as you said, his home base was like worked MMA, right? Like everybody
Yeah,
there was trained in everything, so it's not like they were
yeah,
bringing in a lot of like yeah, just straight up martial arts guys. But it is. I do wish we could maybe we can uh finagle some and find some. We talked about that tag, that
yes,
BJW tag last week that I think would probably qualify at some point.
yes, and
But I am so glad to talk about him. But you're right, it's odd. As long as his career has been and all the places he's worked and all the people he knows.
yeah, no, and he's faced some guys. Like there are some matches that I mean I've had it penned in that I need to figure out the full list, but there are enough things that we can definitely do an Ishikawa episode eventually, and it will almost certainly happen because the Ishikawa matches that fit the different style fight criteria tend to be really fucking great. Um,
Shocker emoji.
I will also say, just as a fun sidebar with Ishikawa, I think there's a good chance that in terms of like the different style fights he's been in, he has somehow been in more real ones than fake ones, like real actual fights
Yes.
because I don't know of any off the top of my head that use the different style fight moniker besides two. One of which is the fight he had with the guy that was named Muhammad
Muhammad
Ali
Ali.
on the 2001 Battle Arts show. And then
His handpicked
also,
opponent for his like isn't it like an anniversary show or something?
yes,
It's like
yes,
a really big battle art show.
it's like the biggest show that they do. It's the last big show they do. They have like 5,000 people there. The semi-main event is Murakami versus Alberto Del Rio, and they got fucking Boss Rutan on the card. And then the main event is Yuki Ishikawa facing this boxer who also has the name Muhammad Ali. Um, but he does have one worked different style fight, which is one of the ones that we may talk about in the future. And I'll just say it's Ishikawa versus Will Ruska, and I believe might be Ruska's last match. I think he has no, it is. It is Ruska's final match in the wrestling business is on an Inoki Festival show where he faces Yuki Ishikawa in a different style fight. Um, but we also have Yuki Ishikawa versus this other karate fighter who I cannot remember the name of. Oh, I think it's Masaki Satake, who is a like huge deal karate fighter in Japan. Like pretty famous, probably one of the more famous karate fighters of the 90s and 2000s. Um he has a different style fight with Ishikawa in like 95 cuz it's when Ishikawa is still a PWFG guy. Um and it is definitely real. And I have seen the footage of the fight, and I hate it. because they have like very weird rules on when you can and cannot grapple. And there are at least 4 different instances of Ishikawa getting Satake on the ground and totally being able to put him in like an armbar. And they go, "Hey, you can't do that." And then they stand up and like Satake would immediately kick him in the head. And it's like, oh fuck, man. They're
They
just
had to
trying to
fix it.
they're trying to kill my boy. This is what they did to Inoki. They
Yeah, they
broke the
had to
rules to kill him.
they know pro wrestling is the strongest style, and they have to fix it.
So maybe that's why Ishikawa just wasn't a fan of different style fights, because the first one he ever did was real and they broke the rules so he would lose. And he's like, I'm never doing this again. But luckily, he's had at least some matches that would fit the bill. This one of the most notable, as he takes on Isami. And man, it sucks that he's done so little, because this is a great example of how good he is at it. He plays the game perfectly. From the bell, plays the game perfectly.
He does everything in this match that makes him my favorite wrestler. He, he, the look on his face is like he smells everybody in Shinkiba just farted. The way he's looking at Isami, but then he breaks it to follow the code of honor, and he immediately starts having fun.
Yeah.
But his version of having fun is like killing you. So
His version of having fun is not only killing you, but being Inoki, because the second the bell
yes,
rings,
yeah,
he
he had
hits the mat
flashback to
and
Muhammad Ali.
he hits the hat and enters the position. He is immediately doing the jumping forward, laying down kicks, the fucking Ali Inoki special. Um, and he is so successful with it, because almost immediately he scissors Isami's legs, trips him, and puts on a heel hook that Isami has to run to the ropes for.
He tries to just twist his foot off like a bottle top.
Yeah.
3 seconds into the match.
And I do have to mention, because I led us along skipping it, but we have to go back for this. Uh, Great match for entrances, because Yuki Ishikawa, of course, has the Cozy Powell theme. It's one of
Yes,
my favorite themes ever. I love
team
it.
one.
It's incredible. But Isami's theme is so awesome. And as far as I know, it's the only theme he used for his entire career. But it is just like drums and a flute and like it sounds like war music. It sounds incredible.
Awesome. It's like a New Japan version of Ming's theme that we
Yes.
talked about a couple weeks ago. To
Yes.
the point that after I, like, as soon as I started this match, I DM'd you and I was like, this theme is unreal.
Yeah.
It fits in perfectly too.
Yes, and I had to immediately go and add it to his cage match page, because I was like, I should do that. So I
Yes, thank you. I'm glad you tracked it down because it's
yeah.
cool. I'm probably gonna tack it on the end of the pod, so
Yeah,
hang
yeah,
around.
when you hear that awesome song at the end, just know this is what you heard every time Isami came out to punch you as hard as he could. Um, but Ishikawa is so successful with the Ollie Inoki like leg kicks. Because he gets the heel hook and Isami gets out and he immediately resumes the position and is like sliding his butt around the ring after Isami
And
and
laughing.
and laughing. He's got this big smile across his face. He's having a great time. Um, they're like Isami gets a little bit of distance, and Ishikawa realizes that if he just slides towards him, Isami's gonna like stop him. So he has to get him. He has to catch him off guard, and he does this by hitting a forward roll directly into a trip to place himself in a mount, so he can like try to flip Isami over and like put him in an armbar.
Man, golly.
Yeah.
I love Yuki Ishikawa, dude. Sorry.
No,
He just leaves me speechless sometimes. There's stuff in this that I rewound like 8 times trying to figure out what the fuck he was doing.
he is the master. He is. I mean, you watch Ishikawa's matches, and you are watching a genuine master of wrestling at work. No matter who he is facing, he is doing things you have never seen before, or he is doing things you have seen before in the most interesting and intelligent way possible. And I feel almost bad throwing the word intelligent in there, because it almost makes it have like a bad connotation. But if you watch Ishikawa, he is a fucking smart wrestler. He genuinely feels like he is 10 steps beyond everyone else. And this is just another match where he is doing shit that nobody else would do unless they had a brain like Ishikawa. And
He
sadly, nobody else has that.
No. There are moments, multiple moments in this match where he'll get like owned by Isami's signature move, the head kick, say.
Yes.
And as he goes down, he just drags Isami down with him.
Yes.
Like he just grabs him and pulls him down. So he's rocked, but he's still getting him like on his level where he wants him
Yes. I
and
mean,
hunting.
great example of exactly what you're talking about happens like right after because Izami fights back with these slaps and these kicks and elbows to the face, and Izami, another great guy with the elbow game, just throwing the point of the elbow at the jaw.
Oh,
Um, and Ishikawa
he,
like slips down the corner, and as he's going down, pulls him into like an ankle lock, and it's like motherfucker, man.
yeah. Eventually, though, like the unrelenting barrage of Asami kicks uh, gets him down, and like he's mixing in some palm strikes. He he gets him down. I loved in this match and the next match. I don't know what the Kazushigumi production was doing, but they would show a move and then they would do a replay from like 1 second before.
Yeah.
It would just like skip back and play it again. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. But he gets Ishikawa down and he starts working his ribs and he's doing the big wrestling karate chops in his ribs and kicking him a blonde hair away from his old man balls.
Dude, there is some dangerous ass and ball targeting in this match at
Yeah.
certain points. There's a great moment when he's got the ankle lock on Isami and he's starting to gap. He just like spanks him, and I wrote down in my notes that that was like prime oil check position, and Isami showed a lot of character by not doing that. Um, but I mean, he is really just trying to grapple fuck Isami, and as you say, Isami's way of fighting out of it is like getting control and mount for a second and raining down these karate chops to the head into the ribs. And he gets Ishikawa up, and I think this is around the time that he lands a beautiful, beautiful head kick that Ishikawa sells. Just sells it like Ishikawa, man. It is it inspires so much joy in me. I don't know what else to say. He is one of the best at everything. And once again, I mean, Ishikawa is literally 51 years old here. And he is moving and selling and just working at such a high level.
And it
Uh,
just it adds to the selling because he was always a great seller. But old man Ishikawa, as evil and deranged as he is, when someone kicks the old man as hard as they can in the face and then tries to break their ribs, and he's selling it like an old man getting his his ribs destroyed. You're like, it's like how is Yuki Ishikawa sympathetic to the
yeah. uh, there's this awesome moment like right after this where Isami's throwing some nasty elbows and he pulls him up and he throws the rolling soul butt. And I mentioned it before as part of like the finish of the last match, but Isami's rolling soul butt is is genuinely killer. Like he throws it with so much force, and you see a lot of guys will throw it and they'll kind of try to tap you with the foot rather than like push it in because I mean it is a legitimate kick to the stomach, and if you do it wrong, you are just kicking the guy in the stomach. Isami has no qualms about that, so he does just throw it full force, and it's
and
very
they
Sayama-esque in the
pop
way
like
people have to take it.
they make the worst sound you've ever heard every time.
And he kills Ishikawa. But Ishikawa very soon after gets it back in blood by just latching onto him and smashing skull to skull with some Ishikawa headbutts to the fucking face.
So good. And Asami is stunned, but throws another of those soul butts that might be even worse.
Yeah.
With again a couple tacked on at the end for good measure.
And I think that's when he finishes it off with the rolling backhand chop, which again, like fucking Ishikawa sells just how he should, man.
Yeah. He also has 25 years training his cranium to
Oh,
absorb absorb those shots.
absolutely.
And he catches the follow-up kick and again just kind of powers him back to the corner from his knees. Like he uses the momentum of getting murdered to to push him into a position he wants.
And he just mauls him in there, hits him with the elbows and the strikes, and he gets him down and starts throwing these like kicks to the gut. And this is where we get Isami starting to make some noises when he gets
Starts
hit hard in the
retching like he's
gut.
gonna throw up.
Yeah, he starts retching, and it is a really nasty sound. It is like, I mean, I believe that he is about to yak up the every lunch he's had for the past week. It is
Appreciate it.
horrifying.
I'm a
Yes,
fan
it's
of that.
wonderful.
More
I
of that
love it.
type of
It's
stuff.
it's so good. I think people are a little scared to do that because they think it's a little bit too much. But like, I don't know. You're a wrestler. This guy's doing karate in a wrestling ring. You're already doing a lot. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, and he's a
Um,
big. It comes. He does a lot of that also in the next match, but like
yes.
he's really good at selling like gassed because he probably is gassed.
Yeah.
And it's with the way he was throwing those short kicks. I mean, I'd probably be throwing up if somebody did that to me
Yeah.
too,
Oh,
or crying,
100%.
which Isami also almost does a couple
Oh,
times.
oh God. So I think it's pretty soon after this he starts landing some chest punches and elbows, and he gets Ishikawa down, and Ishikawa gets up, and we get a wonderful bit of stand and bang from these two guys,
Arching the piss
and
out of each other.
it's awesome because Ishikawa is getting starched, and the more he gets starched, the angrier he gets, and it does just culminate in him definitely just throwing a right hook at one point because of how mad he's getting at Isami just beating the fuck out of him.
He tries to do the drive your nose bone through your brain thing on
Yeah,
Isami in
yes.
the corner. He
Yes.
telegraphs it a little. He's moving a little
Yes.
slow because he's getting hit really hard.
Yes, absolutely. Um, and then he just grabs him by the shoulder and like grabs him by the neck and does a like shoot snapmare almost. Isami tries to get over for it, but it's a lot of Ishikawa just yanking him down as hard as he can. And he goes for a rear naked choke, and Isami fucking counters out of the choke into like armbar position, which was
Yeah, he like gets
awesome.
the wrist. This whole sequence, I probably watched this. I was watching this like the Zapruder film.
Yes, same actually. I rewound this so much. Um, Full on gets out of it, snappy little counter, but Ishikawa, the master he is, rolls straight through the counter, drags Isami down,
Through
and
and under.
it looks like he's going to put on a label lock, like the leg trap over the arm, kind of Kimura, like hammerlock kind of thing, using the legs. But instead, Ishikawa in label lock position hooks his arms around Isami's arm and applies the goddamnedest Fujiwara armbar I have seen in my entire life. It is,
There,
it's,
it
it, ugh.
it feels longer than it is, but there's like a half second where I cannot believe his arm didn't snap.
It looks like
I screenshotted it,
the most guaranteed arm break of all time. It does not make sense
and the
that
way he
Isami's
gets
arm
into it
survived.
is incredible. I mean, he is snap marrying him. There's like a quick reversal, and then he's just bending his elbow in the exact wrong direction.
Yeah, and I think that there's something really lovely about just the way Ishikawa has always grappled, but especially as an old man. And it kind of comes out of just the fact that Ishikawa is an older guy, and while he's a master, he is undeniably a little slower than he would have been in like the 90s. But I love the Zack Sabre Jr. type grappling stuff. When you're a master at that level and you can move that fast, but the stuff you're doing still is within like the realm of sense. I mean, it's awesome. It's like watching a magic trick. Like you don't really know what's going on, but you know clearly there's something, and it's more about appreciating just the illusion that's being presented to you. And I love that. I really do. And I know that some people in our sphere just don't fuck with it. I find a lot of joy in it. That being said, I fucking love when you can watch a guy go through the machinations of the grappling, because you are watching in real time as Ishikawa figures out how to put on the most fucked up hold in the world.
He flirts with a few things. He's like, I'll get a sleeper, I'll get a full Nelson, I might grab a waist lock, I'm gonna snap marry you, yeah, and then uses Isami's momentum against him and just ends up in the nastiest position possible. And it's
It's
it's like
like
a lucha submission. It's instantaneous.
yes. It is like almost like he's like totally in the mindset of someone like almost like Negro Navarro with the way he's moving here. And I love just the last like couple seconds of it when he's got the label position in, and at first he's kind of going down like he's gonna put the choke on, and then he realizes that it'd probably better just wrench back and twist the arm, and then you can kind of see him grab the wrist, and he's like, now what if I pulled the arm up and just hooked my arms around it? And it's like in that moment, he has invented the most horrific armbar that has ever existed. So horrific that I've never seen him do it again, and I've never seen anyone else do
No,
it ever.
no. And I've watched so many Ishikawa matches, man. I have not ever seen that one, and he's proud of himself. He's got a
He
little smirk
is.
going.
He's got a little smirk. He's got his hands in the air. He's like walking around in circles in the ring. He's like, yeah, yeah, I did that.
But he still, and it makes sense now with what you said about their relationship. He takes the time to they bow to each other. He even bows to the second.
Yeah, it gives a good old
And
bow to Nakagawa, and I mean, this is very clearly there's a lot of respect between the two. Isami looks very emotional during the post match. I just I don't know. I think in terms of like feel good stuff, I do love seeing this. I know that some people are like, oh, when these guys have these matches, they shouldn't be shaking hands. I think that's true for certain things. But I do love in a match like this, especially where it's two guys who are like dueling techniques. Like I have no problem with seeing these guys being like, yeah, guys, this is good shit, man. You know,
they
fucking
respect each
Ishikawa.
other. They respect
Ishikawa has no reason to be a shithead. This is a guy who's known for like 20 years.
and he gave him a hell of a fight. And he
He did.
lived. What does Ishikawa like better than that?
Yeah. And
Getting hit
fucking
hard and hitting people hard and
God, I
lifting
put in
people up.
my notes too. Immediately after the match, as he's walking away, you can see he's like walking with a limp, and that's when I realized that one of his legs has a knee pad on because I assume he had legitimately kind of fucked it up at some point, and he's old, so he needs stuff like that. But like, you watch this match, he doesn't look like he has any damage on him. Just God, what a fucking guy, man.
Yep.
I might expedite
You
the
know,
Ishikawa episode.
my my last note for this is what a guy.
Oh my god, man. Yeah, wonderful match. Another really great Isami performance. You know, I in terms of like how much he delivers, it's not as much as he delivers in the TB match, and it's also not as much as he delivers in the match we're talking about next. Um, but it's definitely him playing Ishikawa's game. This is Ishikawa, who is a master and who controls every ring that he's in. And it's Isami trying to find his moments, fighting back with these nasty rushes and the spinning chop and the head kicks. And it really feels like he's a strong competitor against Ishikawa. Like, don't let the runtime of this match fool you. This is a 5-minute match, but at no point does it feel like Ishikawa is eating Isami alive. If anything, there's a moment or two where it feels like Isami is the one pushing the match towards his victory. But
Yeah, a lot of it is Ishikawa like absorbing stuff
yeah,
and
um,
trying to find openings because yeah, he takes a bit. Yeah, Sami's not a warm body here. He's great here.
no,
And like the last one, like the next one, again, they're short, which is great. but they
Yes.
don't feel short. Like there's so much happening to sink your teeth into.
Incredibly compact wrestling. And I mean, what's better than that, man? Um,
Nothing
Speaking of what's
concerned.
better, we're getting into the main event now. Not only of this pod, but also of the show it is on. This is a main event Isami match. It is from the March 17th, 2019 Kazushigumi show. This match is for the International Martial Arts title, which was the top title in a couple of promotions. I believe it started in Fight of the Ring and then ended up in Kazushigumi just by the champion floating over there. And it was there until the company died. And then it went over to Impact, where it has been fought for since. It is actually currently vacant because there was a Tababa Gajo match at the beginning of this year, which is on YouTube and is weirdly popular on Cage Match. It's one of those things where people on Twitter found out that the match was there, and enough people posted crazy clips that people just saw it, and it was like, wow, we got to go see this. And I've seen Japanese like indie diehards who are very confused by the amount of English comments on the YouTube upload. But there was a Tababa Gajo match that ended with a no contest or like a draw. I think it was a double down count. And Tababa decided to vacate the title. So currently it is vacant. It will probably be fought for again in the next few years and it will come back. But it was at this point in time the top title in Kazushigumi. And it is held at this match by Rikiya Fudo, who we have not talked to, we have not talked about in a little bit. We saw his capture stuff when we did the 2010s episode. And most recently, we talked about him as part of the Ogasawara Karate Invasion of Z1, which is pretty interesting. That's Fudo as a young man with a lot of fire and doing a lot of heavy big guy offense, but not the big guy he is in 2019. And it's him taking on an army led by Ogasawara. And now here he is 14 years later taking on one of Ogasawara's other proteges.
Yeah, and Ogasawara's in the building for this one too.
Yeah, Ogasawara is there. He is coaching him. I popped huge when I saw that.
Yeah.
Somebody's got a whole like conglomerate of karate fighters in his corner who are trying to coach him on how to deal with Rikiya Fudo, which
The famous martial artist
yes.
Rikiya Fudo. It's like the FMW martial arts
Yes.
same from the brass knucks title. Like you look at the list of people who held that, and then you look at the list of people who have held this title, and it's like, okay, well, what's in a name?
And
But
it's awesome because I mean the storyline here, which another example of that we need this footage, is that Rikiya Fudo is like an old Kazushigumi guy. Like when Kazushigumi was just Kazushi Miyamoto's own like heavyweight fed, like all the former All Japan heavyweights and the indie heavyweights were just duking it out, and there wasn't as much of a martial arts thing going on. Rikiya Fudo was like a top main eventer during those days. Now, of course, this is a long time from then, and he's only really appeared in Kazushigumi whenever Kazushi has had stuff going on. He's come in to like appear on that stuff, but he has not really had any part in the Kazushigumi martial arts stuff until now because he has decided, hey, I'm just going to enter this, and it's almost like the Abyss going into the X Division thing, where he like joins in and just immediately kills everybody and takes the title and has like an iron fist grip. So
I can
the
tell.
whole storyline for 2019 is that Fudo is just an unkillable monster and they are trying to figure out what they have to do to just get him out of the division.
So much sense. He is. We we talked. This is around the same era as the first one we talked about, but he's built and he wrestles uh like a boss in like Final Fight.
God, yes. He is a terrifying, terrifying prospect. Um, and you feel it the second the match starts because literally, bell rings, Fudo walks Isami down, Vader hammers him like 4 times, catching him with his wrist on all 4, and gets a down count. like
He
immediately.
swarms him with Vader hammers.
And listen, Isami was on somewhat equal footing with Tababa, mostly in control. And then against Ishikawa, although Ishikawa is definitely the better man, he like really pushed the violence and pushed the envelope with his control spots. So to see him in this match just immediately die, it's almost like a reality check that Isami is a big fish in a small pond, and Rikiya Fudo is a man that has been in many different ponds and has always been a big fish regardless. Um, so he is just immediately just fucking killing Isami and just eating all of Isami's offense like it's nothing.
He powers through the heart punches to kill him with the knee lifts in this are criminal.
They are
Uh,
so nasty.
from Fudo. He eats a combo of like gut punch, knee kick, knee lift, brain chop, elbow, and just grabs him in a chancery and clubs him down and hits like a crazy snap leg drop.
dude, dude, this is the most pro wrestled out guy that we watch in this
Yeah,
episode because he is responding to Isami's karate violence by dragging him to the ground and hitting elbow drops.
nasty elbow drop.
Yeah, the most ridiculous, the most shoot elbow drops you have ever seen. Uh, I mean, he catches a kick from Isami, and this is kind of the first real, like Isami comeback moment. He catches a kick, and Isami uses this close positioning to once again, you can't catch an Isami kick, and you can't grab his gi because you're just pulling him closer to you. And what does Isami do? He immediately headbutts him, and he starts throwing these elbows to the back of the neck, and that is where Fudo like decides he's had enough of getting elbowed in the head and immediately puts on a front chancery, hammers him down, and hits, as you said, the crazy fucking sliding leg drop to the back of his head. It is
Like a
nuts.
Michinoku Pro style
Yeah, because
leg
Fudo is
drop.
fast. Fudo is really
Yeah.
fast. It's like it doesn't make sense how fast he is. It's like the thing they used to say about fucking Husky Harris. He's got a tank body with a Ferrari engine, which was just such a stupid fucking nickname if you know how cars work. But that's beside the point. Um, just unbelievably fast for a guy who is this big and this like heavy in all of his movements. Um, this is also, we talked before about how much the crowd hated Tababa. Dude, they fucking hate Fudo. Like there is a woman in the crowd, and I have like a very cursory understanding of like Japanese swearing. But there's a woman in the crowd who will not stop referring to Fudo as a fucking asshole.
Oh, that sums it up well. She's very right. And Asami is laying these in. Like,
Yes.
it's impressive to watch Fudo eat this stuff. But probably his most successful, like, tactic in this is he's throwing these elbows to, like, Asami's spine, like his upper spine, like where his back meets his neck.
Yeah.
like he's like a boss fight, and like that's his weak point.
Yes.
And he, he, he after he eats a few of those, he drops down like he's gonna go for like a drop toe hold or something, but he just kicks Asami in the gooch.
Dude, and
Like,
Isami just doesn't sell it.
he
Isami's like,
doesn't.
"Fuck you!
Oh, no.
I'm gonna chop the shit out of you." He's like, I
Yeah.
I feel like Fudo's trying to do the Ganosuke like fake a back bump to low blow you thing, but Isami just. I mean, Isami just doesn't know shit besides battle arts. So when he goes for it, Isami's like, "All right, I mean, my dick is fine, dude. I got that shit
And
protected.
you're on your back.
My dick has a gi on it. It's all right. So I'm just gonna get on top of you and karate chop you as much as I can."
And
Um,
then the ref stands him up, and he did that a lot. Were
yes.
there? Do you know? Are there like? Is this like knockout only rules or
That
something?
that's a good question because this is a rounds rules match, and I think that they probably because I think this is the only rounds rules match that they have on this show, and like the only one that Fudo does for the title. So I think they're trying to do some level of like karate standing rules. It's very loosely applied, and I think that's because they know Fudo is Fudo and he's a wrestler.
Well, he just
But
pushes the ref away a bunch and does
yes,
some, like, extra shit.
it's
But
like
every time Asami tries to get on him, he's like, "Up, up, stand up."
yeah, it's like the ref is strongly suggesting that they do standing striking,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, the decision is that you either enforce the rules and disqualify them, or you let them fight. And I think if he disqualified them, he would look over at Kazushi, and Kazushi would give him the thumbs down. And I mean, he just that's over
Be
for the
game
ref.
over.
Yeah, referees found dead in a back alley with 17 stab wounds. Like it's done. So he just lets him fight, and more power to him because Fudo is so happy to fight. He is like the more that he tries to be cheap with his attacks and the more that Isami just doesn't register because he goes for a kick that it's definitely meant to be a kick to the balls. And Isami once again
So
is like
close, dude. He
Isami
almost crushed his balls.
Isami once again is like that was all gooch, brother. Let me chop
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So
Those
Fudo just
homing elbows again
just grabs him by the gi, holds him there, single Fudo hammer to the side of the head,
through
cleans
his
his
ear.
clock. Yeah, man.
And right
If
before
you
that,
could feel
he
that.
he no sells a chop, like a full force chop to the face.
Yeah.
Just grabs him and punches through his head. And Asami
Yes.
doesn't twitch, breathe, anything till like the 4 count. He is
No.
he's a puddle on the floor. And he when he
Yeah.
gets back up when he gets back up, he legit looks like he's about to cry. Like if you've ever seen a real fight where one guy's like so mad he's crying while he's fighting, that's what Asami looks like.
Yeah, he's really just going through it. It's an assault on a an emotional and physical level. Um, even then, even with him truly out of it in so many ways, you just cannot put this fucker down because he is going to combo chain you as much as he can. He gets Fudo against the ropes, and Fudo now, and we talked about it when he was talking about the Rocky Kawamura match in Capture. Fudo is one of the best in the world at doing this progressive selling of like going from I'm not going to register your shit to like one or two shots that are just at the right moment. They kind of rock me a little bit to eventually just full on like dying. He's wonderful at communicating how a big guy can go down. So Isami's hitting some leg kicks, and before Fudo wasn't selling him at all. And this time, Fudo is like starting to kind of lean down and grab his knee a little bit, like kind of shake it out and like kind of against the ropes, trying to like cover his knee up. Um, and Isami spells blood in the water because even when Fudo starts throwing elbows and Fudo hammers, like there's a moment where Isami just snaps back out of them and throws a straight inside leg kick and bounces Fudo's leg into the air from how hard he kicks him. And
Take
Fudo takes umbrage with this and elbows him in the head and then knees him directly in the jaw. Like lifts his leg all the way up to meet him in the face.
and then he gets Asami gets up again. It
He
was like he
does.
need him to hell, but then he gets up and he's comboing into the void basically,
Yeah.
and then the bell rang and caught me way off guard.
God, he gets up, but I do have to mention right before the bell gets him, Fudo does get one more down because he just lunges at him with a fucking enziguri. It is the most ridiculous thing I have seen. It's so good. It's like honestly, in a way, when I was watching the Ishikawa match, I was like, this was awesome. I love this. I'm a little sad there was no enziguri. It's like Fudo heard me. He's like, all right, man,
I got
I
you.
will give you one, and I will kick him as hard as I can in the back of the head. And I thank you, Rikiya Fudo. Thank you. But the bell does ring after Isami basically just forced him up so we can start trying to combo Fudo again. Isami is almost a dead man walking. Fudo, meanwhile, is sat in the corner, looking like he has not lost a single breath. Um, this is when we get the
Sawara,
wonderful shot, yeah, with Ogasawara in the jacket.
they're like making Asami demonstrate forms to so he can prove like his soul is still in his body. Is what
Dude,
it looks like.
okay. I loved this. I was like screaming at the computer because Ogasawara is like coaching him, and there's Mitsuru and Nakagawa both on his side, like trying to get him going. And it's like Isami is entering the karate zen mode and is doing all of the forms to like activate his second like charge up so he can get back in this match.
It
I
works for
just
a second.
it does. It works because immediately upon the beginning of the second match, Fudo is walking over like he has nothing to worry about, and Isami lays into him with the karate chest punches. And it's just there's this beautiful moment where Fudo is in the corner, like holding his arms together to kind of cover the blow, and he is just screaming in Isami's face as he's punching him and not going down. And then Isami immediately snaps with a soul butt, and Fudo like kind of crumples for a second, and it's like, oh my god, he's got him. And he just pulls him in the middle of the ring, lays in with some knees directly to Fudo's face, and
Seats
kills him with two rolling chops
for a 7 count.
for a 7. It's not even a 9. He unleashed the like super EX death combo, instant kill, whole health bar wiped out. You are donezo. Fudo gets up with 3 seconds to spare.
And then gives him several concussions.
Just sends him to hell. just just kills him. Like Isami starts the offense by laying in a couple leg kicks, and it's like they wake Fudo up from his little fugue state from getting a down count, where he's like kind of almost out of it just because he's mad at himself that he was down for any point in time. But he wakes up and just lays into Isami with ridiculous like Fudo hammers, and he throws a hammer fist, and like usually hammer fist is like the back of the like the back. He throws it directly to the back of Isami's head, like he's like cracking a hammer over him.
Ice.
Knees to the gut, and then elbow to the face that makes Isami do a full 180-degree spin to the floor. I just I gotta say, man, we talk about a lot of awesome stuff on here, and I feel like in a way we're talking about very violent stuff, and we love it, but we try to present it in a way that's not just for the violence perverts, because there's a lot of you listening that I think could very fairly be called violence perverts. We all have that in us, and we try to talk about things on a level that's beyond that, because there's more than that in
Yeah,
this.
there is more,
But
but that part also rocks.
but if you want to see violence and be a real violence pervert, you really need to watch this match.
Yeah,
This is
it's like almost hard to watch, but it's not really because I'm fucked up, and it's actually really easy to watch, just like
yes.
all of these.
Yes,
It's so cool,
it's so good.
just so cool.
Again, the crowd is losing their shit. They are shouting obscenities at Fudo that you have never even heard of before. I know Fudo had at least 3 hits put out on his head by the end of the show, but he kills Isami with this combo, and the referee looks like he's ready to do a count, and then Fudo grabs Isami by his side and starts rolling his dead body. And it is like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And then he stops rolling him, and you realize that Isami is in perfect position in the corner. And Fudo begins to ascend the corner, and he hits a diving splash.
Like a frog splash, but like a shoot frog splash with a giant
Yeah.
hard gut.
Shoot frog splash by like a 350-pound man.
At which
Um,
point Asami is puking again.
yes, Isami is making the puking noises, and they sound even worse than in the Ishikawa match. They sound, I mean,
They're
one of them is
echoing.
so bad that I genuinely thought he did puke for a second, just because the angle didn't show it enough. But he's just laying there retching and dying. And there is a moment where you can see Kazushi sitting at his table and he has a smile on his face, which let me tell you is a rare sight at these Kazushigumi shows. But Kazushi Miyamoto is pleased. And Isami is dead.
What a fed. What a time. I loved this so much. This is what it's all about, man.
No,
This is why we're here.
this is why we're here. I mean, not to we were talking about feeding the violence perverts. We're also feeding the massive conglomerate who really love when we talk about Swedish JND stuff. And
Yes.
I
For
don't
some
want to
reason.
I don't want to just appease them. I want to do more than that because you guys deserve more than just us appeasing one audience. But man,
Well, we will and
thi-
we do. And
this
we
this
love
is
a
my
lot of stuff,
audience.
but yeah.
Yeah, this is my I we love y'all and we're happy that we get to talk about this stuff and we hope you enjoy this because we know you do. Um no, this is fantastic. I think of the three matches, the first one is the best in terms of seeing like Isami do his thing as like a full, well-rounded performance. This is definitely my favorite match of the three, though. This is like fantastic, and maybe it's because Rikiya Fudo really feels like the biggest monster in the world, and there's no better feeling than that to me. But God, this match is so fucking good, man.
Yep. And again, you can watch all three of these in 25 minutes, probably.
Yeah, dude, it all on YouTube. The first two matches are like within the 5 minute realm. This one is like slightly longer just because it like it's a first 5 minute round and then the second round is like 2 or 3 minutes long. Like you can get all of this done in the same amount of time it would take you to watch like a TV show. Really less. Like you can get all this done
An
within like
indie
20
match.
minutes. Yeah, dude. God, yeah, you can it takes you less time to watch three really awesome matches with Asami than it does for you to watch like the last Blake Christian match in GCW.
By the time these
Like
are done, they're still doing wrist lock counters. And none of them are as good as the one that Yuki Ishikawa does.
Yeah, man. Go check all this shit out. I'm also gonna say, in terms of other stuff that you should watch, Isami has a YouTube channel. As stated on the last episode, I've removed it from his cage match to make your lives harder, but you can find it if you look in the right places. I might, you know what? I'll be a kind and generous soul because it's been a week and we did it really for that week. I'm gonna throw the link back on there so you can just go to his cage match and find it.
And there's probably
Um,
20 videos on there, and they're all worth watching.
yes, he has posted all of his own career onto Cage. Not all of his own career, but he's posted a bunch of matches from his own career on there. Uh, he has a match with Gajo that we did not talk about, and it is fucking amazing. It's so good. It's so good. There is the tag that we talked about many episodes ago. There is a match he had with Noboru Uchida, who is like a genuine K1 legend. There's a match he had with Supercrafter that I very nearly included in this because it kicks ass. Like, there's so much on that channel. You should watch the entire thing. It is a joy. There are other matches of his that you can find on Kazushi's channel. There's like one or two other matches you can find by just searching
Yeah, and that's straight
Isami
up called
Wrestling.
like Kazushi's channel.
Yes, it's literally named Kazushi's channel. Um, you should watch all the Isami footage you can find, but you just start with his channel. It is it is totally worth the like hour you will spend going through it. Um, yeah, man, this guy
Maybe he'll
rules.
get a bunch of views and comments, and he'll start
Oh,
uploading again.
God, I would love for him to just bring back because again, he's not posted everything. He assuredly has more. So I am begging if we can get Isami to start posting all his shit again. Uh, that would be the greatest thing that this podcast has ever done for me. Besides fill me with great joy and happiness every time I do it.
Yes.
So let's get on it, people. Let's fight the good fight.
And speaking of questions and comments, we have a couple this week. Thank
Yes.
you. We'll take more as ever. but we do. First question we got on YouTube on the last video from friend of the pod, the Sayama fan himself. Says, "What
Oh
do you
shit!
did you see this?"
No, I didn't. Oh wow!
It's incredible.
Oh,
Should
so
have sent it to you so you could have thought about it.
no, I actually don't need to think about it at all. I already know. But Zach, the legend, the fan of Sayama, he asks us, what do you think Masashi Aoyagi's go-to Taco Bell order is? Zach, you have won the greatest question of all time award. Um, I think, I think that Masashi Aoyagi's go-to order would he'd be like a real asshole and order something that's not on the menu but that you can get. He would ask for a little bowl of just the iceberg lettuce so he can train his gut to be stronger in the wrestling ring.
I think that because he is so efficient in the ring and focused, he strikes me as, and this is what I do, so maybe I just, I'm projecting because he's so good and I want him to be like me. I think he's just doing a little, he's getting his drink, like a good soda pop or something from the gas station,
Oh
and then
yeah.
he's just mixing and matching from the value menu.
Yes, I think for sure if he was to really order, he'd be a value menu guy because
Yeah,
you
he's
gotta
not
get
doing a combo. He's not trying to fuck around with like a soft taco or cinnamon
yeah.
twists. He's trying to do like he's gonna get a cheesy potato burrito.
Yes,
You
as
get
everyone should.
yeah. Did you? It's not on the menu anymore. We've established that I'm old. Do
Mhm.
you remember when Taco Bell had the chili cheese burrito on the menu?
I do because that was
Oh,
that was around for a while. I think that was a COVID drop off actually because I know they cut like half the menu during COVID, and I feel like that was one of the things that went bye bye because that was around for a long time. That
gonna do
was
the
kick
chili
ass.
cheese. He's gonna do it like an enchilito.
Ooh,
Uh, he's gonna say, I'm gonna spend $7 at Taco Bell, be as full as a human can be for $7.
God, no, that's a great shout. I think if we're going efficiency, um, I mean, I think honestly, and it's another one. Rip, we miss you dearly. He's getting his ass a Mexi melt.
Oh man,
Um,
those were like the three. Mexican pizza, enchilito, Mexi melt was like the god tier cheap food combo
yeah,
when I was in college.
gonna say that's like $5 then.
Yeah.
It's like $17 now.
And you
uh,
shit yourself to death, but
yeah,
you
dude.
wouldn't. Maybe his gi would be covered in explosive diarrhea.
Fun, fun little personal anecdote. I offered to buy Taco Bell for my whole family about 2 weeks ago before I knew that Taco Bell makes people shit themselves to death now. Um, and I like was calling my mom and asking her what she wanted that I could pick up when I got off of work, and she was like, "Can I get a Mexican pizza? I heard those are back." And I went and checked, and she was like, "How much do you want me to pay you for it?" And I'm like, "You don't got it." She's like, "No, I insist." So I told her that the Mexican pizza is currently $8, and she responded by going, "What?" And then she
It's
was silent.
outrageous,
She
dude.
was silent on the other side of the phone for about 30 seconds. she, she had to take a moment to process that capitalism has ruined her life.
Yeah, it's just one of those where it hits you. A
Yeah.
Mexican pizza is $8. How did we get here?
Oh.
Brutal. Hopefully, one good thing that comes out of this is people will
Oh God,
understand
yeah.
that shredded iceberg lettuce is the most useless uh,
It's just not
addition
good.
to any food ever.
I think it'll go good on some things if it's like, if they got the real crunchy stuff, can add a tiny bit of texture. But for like the Taco Bell stuff, it's just never like I mean, most of the time I'll even get it taken off of like if I ever get a chalupa or something, I'll get that shit taken off because it just makes the thing fall apart more. And it's like this
And
isn't it's not good.
I lived before I lived where I am now. Lived in Alabama for like my whole life, and every part of Alabama except for like extreme North Alabama. And one of the many very strange things that I found when I lived in South Alabama, and I don't know if it's like this in Mississippi, was that when you order like a salad in a restaurant, it's like shredded iceberg. Is
Yeah.
that a thing there?
Yeah, no, I've never really thought about it, but it depends on where you're going. But like, there are a lot of places that like when you order a salad, you get shredded iceberg, and I never really thought about it. But I mean, I guess I didn't think about it because I didn't realize that was weird because that's
Yeah,
all
no,
I've ever
that's
known.
nothing I've ever encountered anywhere else that I've ever been. I remember the first time they brought me like some shredded lettuce with some ranch on it and some like cheddar cheese and a couple of cherry tomatoes, and I was like, "What are we fucking doing?"
See, yeah, no, okay, that makes a lot of sense because I don't eat salads when I go out to eat. Like, I will gladly eat a homemade salad, or if it's like a nice restaurant, I'll get a salad there.
What a
Um,
delicious salad with lunch today.
yeah,
Wonderful. No iceberg in sight.
it's a wonderful like side or even a good main if you're just not feeling very peckish. It's a very nice meal. I just never
I mean,
get
it's
salads
fine.
when I go out to eat because I just never get salads when I go out to eat because a lot of them are just shredded iceberg with ranch and cherry tomatoes, and it's like
Yeah,
this shit
it
sucks.
sucks. It reminds me of. We're so off topic. I'm sorry. Thank you
No,
for the
it's
wonderful question. I had a
yes,
buddy growing up who I think I've talked about him not on the pod before, but he's like a crazy guy. He ended up being like a DJ in China and had all kinds of wild adventures. He's somewhat of a con man, and his
yes.
father was somewhat of a con man when we were kids. And when he would take us out to eat, he would always take us to Subway, and he would order whatever sandwich he got. He would get like every vegetable, and then he would take us to the table, and he would explain to us how this was like a hack of some kind, because if you do that, you can scrape it off the sandwich, and then you have a sandwich and a salad. And this
Master
man was very wealthy. I should also
masterful
point
gambit.
out.
I mean, they say
The
you get
Subway
wealthy.
sandwich salad.
You get wealthy by saving money where you can, and he was happy to eat Subway sandwich salads. See,
He was
that
driving his
had to.
Jaguar to buy a cold cut trio and have a bologna and bread and cheese sandwich with a Subway salad on the
It
side.
just had to taste like
And he
WD-40.
and he was so happy. He was so proud of himself for discovering this. I'll never forget that as long as I live. Anyway,
Oh, Zach, thank you so much. I
yes,
always appreciate hearing from you regarding this pod and in general. Please let me know what else is going on about the many people you love because it's a treat for me every time I get a DM. And speaking of someone who I do love talking to, and every DM I get from him fills me with joy, Brady of the world
Brady.
famous File Under Fire podcast
Yes,
had a wonderful comment for us. Some really informative stuff. Once again, we are not just here to answer your questions. We are here to learn. We are lifelong learners to the DSW audience, and when you know something that we don't, please let us know because we're always happy to hear about it.
indeed. Brady sent us a comment about the Lucas's question about which different sports we would like to see in a different style fight, and we mentioned rugby. And he said, "I've learned from my coworker who played rugby that there's a scenario when they're putting the ball back into bounds where you have to throw one member of your team up in the air to challenge for the ball, uh, like a jump toss, what he says in basketball. However, the best way to hoist your fellow compatriot is to grab them by the ass and basically put your thumb in it. All that to say, oil checks are on the table for the rugby players.
And
So
he
that
does
is,
include a wonderful image as well, showing the
yeah,
technique. Where I mean, man, they like there is a guy right underneath the dude in white. You see the look on his face, man. He's deep in there. He's hunting for gold in that thing, man. He is it.
Just for
we
a little extra traction there, a
yeah,
little
I
extra
mean,
leverage, you put it all the way up there and push up.
as Brady said, uh, this is not something that we could have even known about. Thank you to Brady and thank you to Brady's friend who informed us. This completely changes things. I suggested rugby because I know they hit each other really hard with their shoulders and shit. I was not aware that thumb in the bum is a perfectly legal tactic. And of course, as we talked about with Kazushi, gi chokes are legal. When you come in this different style atmosphere, the things you bring with you are legal. So, brother, oil check is not only on the table; it is actively encouraged by the rule set.
Yeah, it's like we've been asked twice and we've answered twice about different martial arts that you'd like to see. And I've been thinking about like the Turkish oil wrestling where you can reach into your opponent's pants to gain leverage as long as you don't like tug on the balls or like how do you police that? How do you I mean, what else are you
Isn't
grabbing in there?
it?
And I've also this may be apocryphal because only saw it mentioned one time, but apparently there's a rule in Turkish oil wrestling where you can also win by exposing your opponent's penis. So I think
Oh.
that would be a cool thing we could bring to different style fights.
Different cell fight. Loser arrested for indecent exposure.
Shawn
Loser
Michaels would
must
be the greatest different style fighter of all time.
Loser must spend the night in the county jail for showing the crowd his Johnson. Uh,
All right, well, another
and
informative and serious historical document for the
we're
pile.
here. We're here for you to learn.
Yes. We
Oh,
also did get we don't have to read it, but we also did get a really nice review on the old Apple platform that really
we did.
summarized what we're doing better than I ever have. So
Yes,
you can feel free to do those too.
yeah,
Uh,
no, it's the title of it is Different Fights So Right, and I've been that phrase has been bouncing around my head a lot since you sent it this morning. Um just fills me with a lot of happiness. I've said it before that this pod is just my excuse to get to talk to Aubie every week.
yes.
But the fact that people listen to this and enjoy it is like genuinely like makes me really happy because like I feel like a lot of the time when I'm talking about a lot of this shit, I feel like I'm just kind of talking to the sky, and I have my friends and my trusted compatriots in this online sphere who will hear me out, and even if it's not their biggest interest, they're always happy for me to pop off my tangents. But I just never really think in my head that anyone else would enjoy it besides the people who I know I'm friends with. So the fact that people are here to listen to us talk about shit like this is the first podcast in the history of podcasting to probably ever mention Isami, and people are going to
Yes.
listen to this and enjoy it, blows my fucking mind, dude.
It's pretty cool. It's funny too. It's like you said. Sometimes when we're talking about it, I forget that we're like recording a podcast.
Yeah,
We're
just
just like talking about this awesome
yeah,
match. But
just chatting good shit with my buddy. I'm like, this is
yeah,
wonderful. But no, the fact that any of you listen to this and enjoy it, I deeply appreciate that. We got a lot more in the tank. Um, every time I look at my list and I go, the list of prospective episodes isn't too big anymore. It's only like 7 or so left. Inevitably later that night, I'll think of like 5 things where I'm like, oh, that would be a good episode. Um, and trust me, the ones I have down so far are still pretty tightly within the realm of different style. We only really just started exploring how different it can get with the deathmatch stuff. Um, there's a lot more in the tank. Stay tuned. We got a lot of good shit coming. And speaking of good shit coming, honestly, uh I don't know exactly what we're doing next week. I kind of have a few ideas that have bounced around my head. Um, God, you know what, Aubie? I said this one earlier, and I'm thinking about it still. I think we might just have to do an Ishikawa episode.
I'm so down, dude.
It was, I gotta be honest with you, I didn't even have that one written down. That's just one I've thought of a few times, and I'm like, this would be kind of tough because I don't know how many of these he actually had. Uh, but then we talked about him here, and I was like, man, I can definitely get some matches figured out. And I mean, he's the best. And he's meant to be here. He's been meant to be here for a while. So I think we should visit Yuki Ishikawa and see what he's got going on for us, because he's had some. He's definitely had some different style fights.
Well, tune in for more of me not being able to form complete sentences about my favorite wrestler. Just going, oh, oh. All right. Well, hell yeah, we will be back next week with Goat.
Yes, sir. Be there or be circular, bitch.
Bye.
Bye.